Well, ladies, this is the second time I'm running this video. I messed up the first one. Every time I try to put you in a holder, it shuts itself off. So let's see what we can do now. I wanted to show you my process, or my progress, on the top right corner. The trees look so real. Oh, my arm is dying here. And I've done everything up there on the top right. I'm going to try a little whip and chat shortly. Not a whole lot to talk about. It is 11:05 a.m. on a Tuesday, August 8th, 2023. This is Moonlight in the Garden by Craftibly, by Bridget Voth, the artist. There are 80 colors, 9 ABs, and 4 LZs. The LZs are the rhinestone crystal gems. As you can see them here, those right in there. Okay, now, as I had stated earlier, before this shut itself off, I will be removing that kitty. I'll be removing it later when I finish more and get over toward there. But if you look at it, it does not look like a kitty at all. It looks like nothing to me but, you know, something unfinished. I have no idea. So I thought I would at least show it to you, and then I will also remove those 2 little gray dots I think were left over from the other kitty that I didn't pull it out. So let me see if I can get you in here without it shutting off again, and we'll try and get started on the whip and chat. I hope, without shutting you off. Okay. The one thing I noticed on this painting, especially this top section, there's a lot of color blocking. But being that I do not multi-place, I just do a single and that's it. So there is a lot of black in here. I figure since I'm starting this, trying to do a whip and chat without losing my train of thought, I would just go ahead and do some of the black and gray here so I could conversate with you. Not a whole lot to talk about at all. It's voting day in Ohio, special election. I was going to try and get down there later. I think it's good till about 7 o'clock this evening. Let me turn my light on. Okay. Let's see. We were going to take the puppy today to the vet to get his nails clipped, and I just didn't really feel like going today, so we'll take him tomorrow. His nails aren't, I mean, he goes once a month, so it's not like his nails are, way out there. So, waiting a day or 2 more is not going to bother anything. And we pre-ordered at the Pet Supply Plus place a different dog food for this little pup. he doesn't seem to like the dog food that he originally was eating from, well, when the breeders were feeding him this specific dog food. It's it's called For Health, and it's grain free or whatever. And then I hear that, well, grain free is a myth. They don't have to have grain free and blah blah blah. And I can ask 10 people, what's the best dog food to feed a dog? And I'm going to get 10 different answers. So, we just kept looking and looking, and I hate having to give him canned dog food or, soft dog food all the time. I hear, that's not good for their teeth and things like that, but I need to find him something he'll eat, and he doesn't particularly care for this food that he's eating. It's dry food, which is no big deal. I can maybe try and find another dry dog food, but who knows what he'll eat and what he won't eat. So we got this one that's it's like in a tube, like rolled like a hamburger roll type thing, and you slice off what the amount they should be eating, and then that's what you feed them. And we got it on sale. They were having a sale, and with so-called points and everything else, we got it really rather cheap, so that if he doesn't like it, it's not going to be a huge waste. And so we'll have to see, if he'll eat it. He loves fruits and vegetables, and he is food motivated, but he seems to be only food motivated for the food he likes. I mean, he likes his little dog treats. They're straight chicken. So he likes those, and they're crunchy. But the one thing he really loves is his little mini carrots. He devours those. He'd rather have those than, biscuits and everything else. And he loves green beans. He loves fresh green beans. I take some out of the freezer to, if I'm making them for supper, and he's sitting right there waiting for me to hand him frozen green beans. He just devours them. And so for a pup that's food motivated, he sure isn't motivated to eat his own food. He wants people food, and they know how to train you real quick. They, smart. So, let's see, what else is there to discuss? I am at a loss most of the time for anything to talk about. I was bored all weekend, of course, because nobody loads, they're not loading videos, and, they're probably, all out vacations or something, who knows, or doing their weekend things like Becky was. And it's either that or people working, and, if they're not retired, then of course they're not going to have all the time in the world like I do, and lazy retired granny does. Anybody that is retired, it's just like, okay, we're just sitting around, diamond painting. So wanted to think if there was any other questions. I knew there were some questions I wanted to ask before, and they've completely went out of my head. I wasn't going to make this a long wip and chat, whatever you want to call it, because I run out of conversation all the time. I don't know why. I could sit here and talk to myself all day long and, you know, come up with questions and answers and whatever. And then as soon as you put, you know, a camera on and say, okay, let's sit down and have a conversation, I go stupid. And so, oh man, let's see. It is, right now it's about, excuse me, 72 degrees. It rained again yesterday. And I'll tell you, you know, lazy retired granny, you want this rain? Hey, pay for shipping and you can have it. And it just, it has no clue on what it's planning on doing. This Ohio weather is really strange. I mean, all the rain we're getting now seems like all the rain we missed in April. And now summer is like, hey, guess what, guys? I saved this up for you. You know, here's your rain. Let's make your sunny days miserable by dropping rain on you and giving you the humidity of a lifetime. So, you know, one day I'm, you know, so hot I'm turning on the AC, and other days I'm ready to, you know, bundle up and, you know, freeze to death or something. It's like, I don't understand this weather. It's cockeyed. Oh, and I think I mentioned last week about going grocery shopping and sticker shock. Yeah, it was a bit much. Yeah, quite a bit much. Every time I grocery shop, I buy basically the same stuff all the time. Same product, you know, I mean, and how many choices do you have when it comes to meat? You know, you got beef, chicken, fish, you know, pork, what else is there? And I always buy the same stuff, the same amount. And usually it's, you know, a couple $100 for a month's worth. And it's my daughter and I. Well, this time it was about almost double, which is scary because I cannot eat some of the stuff that I used to eat. You know, cheapy. You know, like I can't sit down and eat a lot of processed stuff like hot dogs and you know, bologna and, you know, luncheon meats and things like that. And I still do purchase, you know, one pack of hot dogs that'll last a couple months because I don't, you know, we eat like one and then have our other stuff with it if I'm craving a hot dog, you know. Uh, Lunch meat, I get one small pack of like, you know, chicken lunch meat and some cheese, and we may have one or maybe two sandwiches in the month. Well, they've, you know, with not being able to purchase what I call crap food, I'm sorry, and just, you know, all processed stuff in boxes and, you know, some of your processed meats and processed veggies, stuff like that, without having to purchase, not being able to eat it and purchase it, I can't save money like I did before. I have to buy the little better stuff, and it that stuff has gone up. Well, it all has, but that in particular. You know, if you want the cottage cheese that I buy, and you buy a tub of it, it's like almost $4. And I go through tons of cottage cheese. I bought 3 this time, so you figure between $9 and $12 for 3 tubs of lousy cottage cheese. So it's not economical, but it's necessity. It's like, okay, when I was going through a lot of eggs, I used to buy at Walmart. They had these packs, 60 eggs in the thing for like, I think it was like, I'm trying to remember if it was, I think it was about $10, which wasn't too bad. Then when we had that big egg crisis, I couldn't buy the eggs because those 60, well, I could buy like maybe a dozen or 18 of them, but the large one ended up being like 20 some dollars, like $28 or something, and then we had that egg problem. Now I'm able to buy that same pack, and instead of it being $10 or $12, it's down to like, $7 for 60 eggs. So that's not bad, especially when I can go through that many eggs in a month or a month and a half. Having a scrambled egg, an omelet in the morning with a little cottage cheese, or just the omelet. So I just can't understand some of the prices, and they keep raising the price and making the container smaller. So they're not only getting extra money for raising the price, they're getting more money and profits from giving you a smaller container. So that's, real nice of them. I mean, it's not like you can go without food. You got to eat. So they know they got you on that one. And let's see. I'm finishing up my laundry. I've got 2 loads left. Oh my God, it's real stuck. I got 2 loads left to do, which is good because then I won't have to worry about laundry for the rest of the month and worry about it next month. I'm going to, on Thursday, I am going to finish painting my room. I'm doing the whole wall behind me. Instead of doing it piecemeal, I'm just going to get it out of the way. It'll probably take me all day Thursday to do it, but that's what I plan on doing. So then my room will be finished, and I won't have to sit there and look at it, half done. And that's going to be fun, and that will take away a day's worth of diamond painting, which really ticks me off. Because I figure I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections left to paint on this top. And if I can finish 1 a day, which, that means I have to really work at it, and finish 1 section a day. Today is the 8th. I can probably have it done by the 13th or 14th of this month. I'm not trying to make it a race. I'm not trying to, I was, trying to judge how long it would take me to do this. And I had told Lazy Retired Granny that, I could probably get it done by the 2nd week in August. and it looks like I may be able to, but if I have to paint my room, I'm losing a day. So I'm not looking forward to really finishing this, because then I'm going to really miss it. It's been so enjoyable to paint, to see the trees come alive, the kitty come alive, the fountain, the house is what I'm working on now, and I can't wait to see what it looks like as I progress across this section. And like I said the other day, I'll probably work on one or two of my gonks, gnomes to other people who there is a difference. But I think one I'll work on is the one that's I'm crazy and I gnome it. I think that was the one. And it's a partial. So it would probably take me, one day, maybe a day and a half. And then I'll look at one of my other gonks and see which one I want to do again, or something else I have in my stash. I just don't want to have more than one going at a time. I can't do it. It drives me crazy to think, there's a painting waiting for me to get back to. Some people it doesn't bother. They can do it. It's great. I'm glad. I'm just not that type of person. So whatever I paint on, I want to have it done, because on the 1st of September, I want to do the black and white that the Diamond Dolls are doing together. So that'll be interesting and fun. Going from squares back to rounds again. And I don't mind rounds. I always thought I really liked rounds. I only did, one square a while back in January. And then everything else I did after that, I believe, was all rounds. And then I did, I know I did this square. Oh, I did the pasta puppy little chef. I did him, and he's a square. That was from Diamond Art. And I really enjoy, I think I found out that I don't mind doing rounds, but I think I honestly prefer squares. If they're good squares, like this painting from Craftibly. Because I noticed when I did squares from other paintings, whether they be budget friendly or premium, the squares on this are totally different. They almost, I know it's not possible, but they almost act like they're magnetic. Besides the clicking and the crunching together, it's like you set them down and they just kind of like suck together. It's almost like, magnetic, like they're attracted to each other. They fit so uniformly. It's amazing. Even with the dark ones. I can still see a little, gapping, but nothing at all compared to what I've seen in some of my other squares that I had. So, what's my time? 24 minutes already, and all I did was babble at y'all. And there goes a car across the street. I'm sure you hear it. He starts that car up every day. And instead of just starting it, he'll rev it like crazy. And it stinks to high heaven. Comes through my windows. Yuck. He needs to do something about that big old beast. So, I'm not going to stay on here much longer since I've run out of conversation. And I don't know how long I can continue to talk about this painting. I mean, it's not like you haven't heard everything I've said from before. I'm saying the same stuff over and over again. But I am in awe of this painting. I love it. Even with the couple cats that one I removed and the other one I will remove. That's personal preference. If you have this painting and you think you want to keep it original by leaving, in particular items, that's entirely up to you. For me, it would, and I'm not OCD, but it would kind of bug me. Because to me, it's almost like being unfinished when I see something like that. It's like, and if it's not distinguishable as something that was painted, then I can't see a purpose of it being there. So I guess that's my, maybe my cross-stitch days or something. It's just, it needs to be defined and look like something. And I hate to put in that amount of work, the hours that I'm putting into this, which I'm keeping tabs on. And this, I believe, will be day 14. I'm not sure. I think the update I did yesterday or the other day was day 13 of working on this. I'll have to look. I usually write it down, and I didn't write that one. I didn't write it down in my book. So, I believe this will be day 14. So it's 2 weeks, which in day form, yeah, but in hours, if I add up my hours, it wouldn't come to 2 weeks. There's some days, and truthfully, and like I said, I'm keeping tabs. There are some days, if I look back in my book, I have diamond painted 14 hours in one day, 12 hours in another day, 9 hours, 11 hours. I've added them all up. On the 6th, on the 7th, which was yesterday, I diamond painted 13 and a half hours. So, yeah, that's a lot. I know. I mean, I do get up and down in between, to make sure I'm not, like, crushing myself here with my legs and, moving my circulation around. But still, yeah, that's a lot of hours. I'm still cooking, I'm still cleaning, I'm still, doing my laundry and other things. So, it's the same thing I did with cross stitch. I get started on something and it's compulsive. It's like I got to keep doing it. And I love keeping my hands busy. It stimulates my brain. I'm thinking, I'm processing what it's looking like, and it just, keeps my brain active. That's what I like about it. And it is enjoyable. It's fun. It's the best hobby I've found through all the hobbies I've had in a lot of years. So, well, I'm coming up to 30 minutes. I'm going to get off of here. And I think maybe I'll sit down later and figure out some kind of questions to ask y'all. You could maybe tell me how many diamond paintings you've done so far this year and how many you hope to finish before the end of the year. I have to go back and look at mine. I haven't done tons because I've done, several large ones. So, but I'd have to look back on mine as well. So, yeah, you can answer that. Just unless it's been, well, a lot of things have been asked and answered already anyway. All across the YouTube uh, diamond painting world. So, but if you feel like mentioning, how many you've done so far, we know, lazy retired granny, we don't even want to listen to you. We already know how many you've done. You're a speed demon, so we know what you've accomplished. We're going to talk to the little guy and see what they've done. So, y'all have a good day. Have a better evening. Enjoy whatever you plan on doing, and I will try and get back with you tomorrow with maybe another update and a progress report, and maybe another whip and chat. We'll see how far I get. So y'all have a good one. Hugs. Diamond Painting Crazy Lady. I'm out for the day. Bye-bye.